This whole Mr. Beast situation with Chris transitioning and Mr. Beast not only just defending Chris's transition, but also attacking his fans in the process, it's really starting to look like this is going to hurt Mr. Beast's brand in the long term, because obviously his channel is mostly geared towards children. Most of his audience is probably, I would say, under the age of 14, maybe under the age of 16, but they're mostly skew younger. And I think that he probably has a lot of fans that are 8 and 9 years old, a lot of fans that are between the ages of 8 and 12. So it's just very dangerous to have people like Chris on there who are transitioning, but also, you know, a very young audience saying that stuff is even worse. And obviously any parents that are aware of what's going on Mr. Beast's channel are probably not going to let their kids continue watching Mr. Beast. At least probably half the parents out there. It's probably split between 50-50. Probably half parents out there are like, yeah, that's fine. You know, we support those types of people. We support that type of ideology. And the other half of parents are like, hell no, I'm not letting my kids watch somebody who is going through a transition, looks extremely unhealthy. And also the person running the channel is supporting them and saying things like this tweet right here. This tweet is from a random person that I've never heard of before. Sorry if you're famous or something. I don't know who this is. This new Sunny V2 video feels really invasive for all the wrong reasons. Like, why did you make this? You delved into the man's marriage and shit. It's really just off-putting and unnecessary. Well, Mr. Beast does have like 100 million followers or something like that. So to have someone like that who destroyed his entire family in order to transition, it kind of needs to be talked about a little bit. And obviously people want to hear about it. Look at this. 168,000 views in 1 hour. That's insane. I think the video has like almost 5 million views at this point, because a lot of people care about this dude. A lot of people feel very passionately about someone like Mr. Beast, who has been a very family friendly, a very kid friendly channel for a long time. For one, he's destroying his kid friendly reputation by having Chris on his channel. And I'll show you in 1 second that we're not the only people that are thinking like this. And I said earlier that it's probably half the parents that think like that, but it looks like it's actually a lot more than half the parents, because they got ratioed pretty badly in one of the first videos that they posted with Chris in it. So people are pissed about what Mr. Beast is doing. He responded to this tweet and said, yeah, it's getting a little absurd. Chris isn't my nightmare. He's my effing friend and things are fine. All this transphobia is starting to piss me off. I think that this wasn't even Mr. Beast that tweeted this. I'm not going to lie. This last sentence in this tweet just sounds really like AI-ish. It sounds really PR bot, PR agent type statement. All this transphobia is really starting to piss me off. Like, it sounds like something somebody from Nickelodeon would say. Like, it sounds like a Disney Channel line. It doesn't sound like something that Mr. Beast or a real human that's not, you know, a PR agent would say. It definitely sounds very, very AI-ish. And then, of course, you know, a lot of people were coming after him in the replies. Is Chris a he today? It's honestly a bit confusing while someone is transitioning, because Mr. Beast right here referred to Chris as a he when he's obviously trying his best to not be a he, trying his best to not be a man. So it is kind of hypocritical of him to call him that. Your boy watches some weird ass, you know, I can't say that word. I'm a big Mr. Beast fan, but yeah, I have 5 daughters, and this is just weird to me, especially after Chris's tweet about Lolly P. It's hurting your entire brand. It no doubt is hurting his entire brand. Because you know, I've said it a million times. A ton of other people have said it as well. It's just, it's the fact that he panders towards children. And let's go see actually how many followers Mr. Beast has on Twitter right now. 19.5 million Twitter followers. And I think he has like 100 million subscribers on his main channel and like 20 million on his second channel. And the list goes on and on. He has a ton of different channels with millions and millions of subscribers, gets hundreds of millions of views every single time he posts. So that's the reason why people have an issue with it, because most of those hundreds of millions of views are children. So it's just a very tricky situation. Alex Stein quote tweeted that tweet that I just showed you, the reply from Mr. Beast, and it says Mr. Beast is technically being transphobic by using the wrong pronouns here. Yeah, of course, he got absolutely roasted on that tweet because he called Chris, who was trying his best to not be a he, he's my effing friend. Josiah Rises tweeted this one out, a picture of Chris's tweet, a reply to one of his the threads criticizing him, saying, I did also hate seeing the hate from me turn into just general transphobia, so I'm trying to make it known. Make fun of me all you want, but mess with the trans homies and, well, gun emoji. And this was back on 27th of March, 2023 at 3:18 a.m. If you don't know, this is when, that date is when the whole Nashville shooting went down. The school shooting in Nashville happened. This was at 3:18 a.m. So this isn't after the shooting happened. If you don't know, the shooter in the whole Nashville school shooting was a trans shooter that had a manifesto that was targeting Christian schools on purpose because they are anti-trans and anti-trans ideology. So it is a really bad look. I'm not trying to say that Chris is like in with that person. I'm not trying to say that it was some like trans, you know, everybody who's trans like conspired to have that school shooting go down. I'm just saying it's a little weird that it was on the same day. He tweeted out a gun emoji And, you know, he is now transitioning and making it very obvious. He's now a prominent face of like the transgender community now because he's one of the most famous ones. So it is a bad look. I'm not trying to, you know, infer that he, you know, conspired with that person or anything like that. I'm just saying it's a bad look and it's a pretty big coincidence. And like I was saying earlier, Mr. Beast is getting ratioed on his own videos now, at least the one that he posted recently with Chris in it. Ever since this whole situation went down, this was the first one that he posted. You can even see right here in the chat, or you can't actually see it on the screen. So let me move it over a little bit so you can see the live chat. Somebody says Mr. Yeast right here. So even before the video even started, this is still the starting soon screen. People are already coming at him. And look at the like to dislike ratio. 175,000 likes to 232,000 dislikes. That's not 50-50, man. That's worse than 50-50. And we all know nowadays people don't use the dislike button as much because it's not there. Unless you have a Google Chrome extension, you can't even see the number of dislikes on a video, which makes people want to dislike less because it seems like the dislikes don't really matter when you can't even see the number. So the fact that 232,000 people out of the 6 million views of this video has disliked it shows that most people who are in Mr. Beast's audience don't like what he's doing with this whole Chris situation. It's just a fact. Most people don't like it. And if you look at the comments, none of them are being very positive about Chris. None of them, like not a single one that has a lot of likes on it, is being positive about the Chris situation or defending the Chris situation with Mr. Beast. We need more Chandler, Nolan, Tarek, and Jimmy. In all honesty, Jimmy helps so many people probably off camera, but who's helping him? You can definitely see the change in Jimmy's energy. He's normally upbeat. That's a lot of people are saying. A lot of people were posting clips and posting pictures, screenshots of Mr. Beast and how he was looking very sad and very distraught throughout this entire video that they posted here. And you know, it's an obvious reason why. He's usually very upbeat. He's usually very high energy. And he just wasn't in this video. And there's really only one main difference with it. Here's a tweet from Matt Walsh discussing the entire Mr. Beast situation. He says, "My kids don't watch YouTube, but if they did, I would not allow them to watch Mr. Beast content anymore. Highly confusing and harmful for a child to be exposed to a man who is undergoing a transition." 100%. And not only is there a man on there going, you know, under a transition, there's also the person who's running the channel is defending him vehemently on social media. And honestly, kind of it feels like they're attacking, you know, Mr. Beast is kind of attacking his fans a bit whenever he says stuff like, you know, like I showed you in that tweet earlier, in that reply earlier. It just feels very condescending. It feels very like high and mighty. And it feels like he's trying to put his fans down for having an opinion. Like we're not trying to be hateful or anything. We're just saying that you probably shouldn't platform somebody in all of your videos when you're getting hundreds of millions of views on YouTube. You should probably not platform that person in front of hundreds and millions of children whenever they're undergoing something that Chris is trying to advocate for children to be able to do on their own. He's saying that it's a life-saving medical procedure that he's undergoing, and that you should be able to do it as long as you're informed. You should be able to make an informed consent decision. The issue is most of these 9-year-olds that are watching Mr. Beast, watching this man turn into a woman and ruin his entire family before their eyes, they're not capable of making informed decisions because they're 9. So that's the whole issue with the whole situation. That's why people are like Matt Walsh and others are so pissed off at Mr. Beast and what he's doing. And I think that Mr. Beast will probably end up coming around, most likely because it's going to hurt his pocketbooks. It's going to hurt his channel growth. But it's sad that he's still going to be in front of millions, hundreds of millions of eyes until Mr. Beast ends up coming around on the whole situation. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think that this will actually hurt Mr. Beast's channel going forward? Do you think this will hurt his brand going forward? Or do you think it'll end up being a nothing burger and, you know, Chris will still be in the videos going forward, everything like that? Let me know how you think he's going to get out of this. I don't know how Mr. Beast is going to get out of this one. We'll find out soon, I guess. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.